YouTubers. So today we're going to do a couple of maintenance service things. We're going to change the oil filter, the air filter, the oil, and we're also going to change the fluid in the differentials. Now, when I got this car, the seller said to me he had just done a service. Do I trust things like that? Don't know, but it's a new car to me, so we're going to start from fresh. We're going to go with the proper AMG oil. We're going to go with a genuine Mercedes oil filter. We're going to go with a MAN filter because that's actually what Mercedes use on this engine. It's a MAN filter. We've got a 10mm socket here to undo the differential. We've got a 12mm here, I think it is. Sorry, 13mm to undo the oil. The oil we're using for the differential is going to be Febby's. It needs to be 75W-85, and it needs to be Mercedes. If you see it down there, 23574 and 2357, which is what this is. The difference in price, this one cost me about a tenner. Mercedes wanted 25 quid, I think it was. To pump that into the differential, we're using this tool here by Laser. I've used it before with different cars to get differential oil in. Works really well. So the first thing we're going to do is crack the bolts for the actual oil under here, and we'll also probably crack the one for the differential. Main thing to remember before we do the differential one is make sure we can crack the filler hole, the filler nut first, because you don't want to drain it and then find out you can't put stuff back in. So let's get started. Start off by undoing the oil filter housing to loosen it off, and then also going to loosen off the filler cap just to release any pressure and stuff, and then we'll go underneath the car. See, they are released now and loose, but now let's go underneath and start draining that oil. Managed to crack the nut and here it is draining. As you can see, I managed to miss the bowl initially, very annoying. We'll let that drain anyway. And what is very naughty is they didn't even put a washer on the bolt. So I'll have to put a new washer on there as well. People, eh? People. So you can see here, the seller has used the cheap, sort of like a fabric one. It's not what these engines like. These engines are really sensitive to having the right filters. So we'll get this one off along with all the old rings. There we go, there's the old one. Hengst, looks like it is. You'll see the difference in the Mercedes one in a moment when I get the Mercedes one on. I mean, this O-ring is almost like not holding at all. I'm glad I'm doing this. Just goes to show when people say, oh, the car's had a full service. Yeah. That's why I like making sure when I get a car, I do a service myself. So we're going to have altogether 4 O-rings to replace on this. Mercedes one. If you look at the difference, the Mercedes is more of a plastic, much more stronger. So yeah, it's a good job we're changing this. And here's the new pack of O-rings. And out of interest, this Hengst one probably cost, I don't know, 7 quid, 8 quid maybe. The Mercedes one was 13. For the sake of maybe 5 quid, it's probably better to buy the Mercedes, isn't it? That's what I think anyway. Let's get this new. And then we'll put filter on. Much more tighter fit as well. Wow, what a difference. And it clicks in. We'll get that back in the engine. And then we'll go back underneath and see how our draining is getting on. a nice new filter in there now. Right, let's see how the draining is going on. Okay, so we've got a bolt with a new washer on now, which is how it should be. Let's get this back in the hole. Put a rag there so that it would stop a lot of the leaks that we're going to have to clean up in a minute. Let's get this back in. So we're now going to do the differential. Now the actual, see, it's in there, the actual filler one right in that there. So we need to undo that first, and then we can worry about this one, which is the drain one, because we don't want to be able to drain it and then realise we can't even fill it. So let's get this one out first. We use a 10mm socket to get in there. That feels like it's there. And I might use a wrench to undo it. Oh yeah, that's undone nicely good. Alright, drain plug is out. Oh, sorry, fill plug is out. There's the fill plug. At least it's got a washer on it. I'm wondering if it will run off. So now we can go ahead and do the drain one. I'm not prepared for this all to drop on me. Which is in there. Because sometimes these lose a lot. Well, to be fair, it doesn't look too bad. It was even worse than that. Come out there. So I've got my Febby oil, and what was really cool is it ended up that the lid of the container I was going to use, the pump container, actually fits on the Febby thing. Anyway, the idea is that you poke this pipe into the fill hole, and we basically keep pumping until oil comes out, and then we just put the screw back in. So we'll keep pumping. Let's see how we go. Done one bottle, which is 1 litre. Let's take this bottle off and we'll carry on. Okay, it's just starting to drip out now, so that would be enough. We need to get our easiest things to do. It's hard to get it threaded initially because the space is so limited that you've got. So we managed to get it in, as you can see it's there, and I had to sort of jiggle these pipes gently left and right to get purchase on the threads first, and then once you've got threads it's alright going. So we're going to have to repeat that process on the back differential, but in the meantime I'm going to go up top now and start filling them up with the AMG oil and do the air filter. So it should take 7.5 litres. Luckily on this ML we have a dipstick, so you can actually see how much you're filling. Whereas the CLK I've got, you don't. It's done by computer, which is very, very annoying. Let's try and start filling with the AMG oil. 5 litre first, 7.5 litres, so we'll do a 5 and then a 2. Present, we've got 7 litres in, so we'll check the dipstick and see what it looks like on the dipstick while we're also then doing the air filter on this side. Let's get some rag out, take off our dipstick. Okay, in the middle, which is good. So we'll leave it for now at 7 litres until we've run her, and we'll check again when the oil is warm. So let's get this air filter changed. Screwdriver to prise her out. Make that worse. Okay, air filter done, and the oil is so I think what we'll do now is we'll get on with the back rear differential. So you join me on the rear differential. These were really tight, not hard to get to. That one was ridiculously hard, but they were both really, really tight to the point where I thought, I'm going to break my tools or I'm going to break the bolt. Anyway, ended up using an Allen key on a long socket on a long extension to get to that one up there. Because you can't get a socket to it, I had to improvise. I was saying, had to have some sort of way of being able to get to that. So yeah, it was an Allen key on a long socket on a long extension. So I'm gonna get these open and let it start draining and carry on. So I'll just get this one out first using my improvised tool. This is a fill plug, which, as I've already said, is very important to make sure you can get out first, because otherwise if you drain it and then you can't fill it, you've got a problem. Right, so that's the fill plug out, which is very important, so I'm happy that one's out. Now we're going to drain the differential using the drain plug. Is she going to squirt all over me? Ooh. She behaved herself. Right, so we'll let that drain. Okay, so time to start filling that back up. So we'll pop this hose into the fill hole. It's the same game where we're basically looking for it to be overfilled. Put that there, and we'll start pumping away. This has got about half a litre, maybe a little bit more than that in it, but I'm sure we're going to have to swap over to the other bowl in there. Right, we've emptied that one, so let's undo her. Before it starts pouring. There you go, she's starting to pour out now, so I'm going to take this out. Put this back in. Where's the other step at the front? Because he says as he drops it. Done. So the thread was okay, I just was not able to do it by my fingers. Obviously it got tighter. So we're now filled up. We've had the service done. I ended up using, if I can show you, this tool, because it was a shallower end here, it could get up there easier. We tightened that up. So that's it, we've done the engine service, the two differentials. My next stop is going to be the gearbox down there. It looks like the pan itself has got some rust appearing on it, so I'm going to get a new pan. I've already got the service kit and the oil from Mercedes, but for now that's the differentials and the engine done. So hope that's been enjoyable for you.